get crazy. We're starting it off right now, and the stakes have never been higher. I'm NVNYC here, joined by my boy Slav, and we are getting into the game right now. We have SCP versus Nova here, and Slav, talk to me a little bit about maybe this format, how things are going, maybe like the League of Legends Worlds stuff.
Yeah, League of Legends Worlds is relevant here because it is the same format that they're using for the group or now Swiss stage at Worlds, where it's Trifecta Swiss, meaning every single team is going to be playing at the very least 3 games today. They need to win 3 to progress into landing. If they lose 3, they drop out of the qualification and will be playing in NAST. Relevant here as well to mention is that every game that's not a qualification game, so every game that does not... Oh, okay, sorry, really not safe. Anyways, every game that's not going to either put you 3-0 or 0-3 is going to be a best of 1. Only qualification games are going to be best of 3. So right now, we're in round 1 of the Trifecta Swiss, which means this is a best of 1 game between the Scriptwriters and People's Supernova. The winner of them is just going to go up against another team that's also 1-0, which is also going to be best of 1 again. You'll get the gist of it as we're going through it more and more, but it's an interesting format. It's a format I personally very much like, and I'm excited to see how the teams are going to do today. You know?
Yeah, no, that's very cool. Teams just get like kind of a lot more time to play, a lot more time to really get the synergy down, feel the nerves, feel what the other teams have got coming, because like you said, 3 wins is what you're looking for, and 3 losses. I mean, you've got 3 losses to deal with. Most brackets, you know, it's 0-2 and you're gone, but we're going to keep playing here as the side of CP is going to... Well, oh, actually got a kill here. Blue team looking quite good. My screens are not perfectly set yet. Megaverse going to dribble the ball a little bit, hold the line until we have another teammate to return. Yet to check out names here. Sovereign back on the board. Moonbeam Sama going to send it on over to Silacy. Not going to be able to find this barrier just yet, though. Logan looking a little bit weak here, though. Definitely primed to get the kill. Megaverse also going to try to find it, but could not get through the side, but no problem. We got Eternal getting that piercing shot right over to Sovereign to score that point. 2-0 right now. Looking good. And, I mean, you really want to start winning early in this bracket because, you know, as you're finding these losses stacking up, the pressure also is going to be stacking up. And it could just be like a matchup thing when you have no losses left to give. If you're like 0-2 or like 1-2. So you kind of want to give yourself the biggest chance here, though. Obviously, I'm saying winning is better, right?
I mean, you are saying winning is better, but that doesn't make it any less true, right? And talking about winning is better, Scriptwriters are winning. They're taking that momentum, and they're moving on with it, taking a first set victory already, and giving themselves some kind of priority in this draft, as we see a lot of new awakenings as well. I do think the patch has dropped in between Launchpad and Liftoff, so this is also the first time we're seeing these teams compete on this iteration of the patch. So you can already see Mega Fuse and Accelerator, Inner Focus in. The Starter Awakening actually also were Rampage and Berserker, 2 awakenings that also did just come back in. Well, one came back in, the other one got added anew. But the draft itself, much more standard. We're seeing 1-2 Punch, we're seeing Hotshot, we're seeing Extra Special being taken. Reptile Remedy is back, which is also a really great awakening being picked up. The Mega Infused Accelerator finding its way onto Celicy there is interesting because it gives you a lot of speed to work with, but also makes you really squishy, which means Eternal might be able to look out for some KO angles on Celicy there.
It's definitely something to look out for. I mean, immediately just sending a couple of moves, not really, kind of more like a crossfire onto Celicy and losing just about all their health, and it's going to continue to go down, like you said. See if they can make good use of the speed, but man, well, that path splitter will absolutely demolish the side of Nova here. Sovereign, great placement here with that ult, and yeah, like you mentioned here, Berserker, new, I mean, the awakenings are definitely quite interesting. We do see all of them on the board here, as you mentioned that Berserker was a starter. I have yet to see like much comments, like too many comments saying like one of these is like broken or some sort of useless. The only things I've seen was like they're a little less impactful than people have previously thought. But I do think that Omega Infused Accelerator definitely will have the most impact at one way or the other, as speed is basically the most important stat of this game. Celesty sending the ball right over back to Moonsama, no problem, doing a little back pass there, but losing their entire health bar to Sovereign, falling off the stage. Sovereign also looking quite strong with this flip right in the face of Moonsama, but just Logan doing a great job of helping out the defense. But now it's a flip situation, and Insangle actually gets it right through the entire team. Megaverse can't get there in time, and I mean, a teammate down and scoring the goal with that flip, that's the best value you can get.
That's about as good as you can get with it as well. Megaverse took a little bit too far of a step down there, and that opened up the angle. Moonsama saw that. But now they have to deal with the offense from an Asher with a flip. Defended it pretty well as it stands. One barrier still up, but it's getting pressured quite heavily. And just Logan actually about to die. Uses the flip as well, so no evades there anymore. Sovereign potentially can look for something, but is almost being taken out themselves there. As again, both brawlers down to 0 HP, just trying to stay alive. And the midfielding goalie's just kind of contesting the core control.
Nice. Celesty does find the final barrier, and they find themselves a kill as well. Double flip on the side of SCP, though. Megaverse and Eternal going to try their best to hold this line. Eternal definitely making an internal decision to say we are not going to flip here. We will flip when we can get the most value out of it, instead of just holding the line. That was definitely a decision that was made, and it did not end the set, so we shall see if that flip can get way more value than holding that point.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Eternal is pushing up, trying to get a flip out here, but again, it's defended well, and Celestia has a flip available soon as well, so the energy advantage that the scriptwriters are having, it's slowly going away, as people Supernova are just holding on to their defenses for now. Celestia using the flip there as well to try to get it out, but doesn't find an immediate answer. Logan, however, will find one of the barriers.
Nice work there. That flip looked a little bit awkward, but actually Logan made it work out nicely. Gets the barrier beam right in front. They do have a 3-man goalie to actually hold the line there, though. Celesty also playing a nice defense, keeping the ball away from Moonsama and doing a little bit of damage to Sovereign as well. Nice strike shot to keep that barrier up as well. Sovereign, yeah, I can't think of a character too much better than Kazan for finishing off kills when you are completely shattered. And now a nice 2v3 situation. Moonsama's going to move up nicely, give a little bit of speed. Celestia going to hit it right back over to Logan. They don't find the goal just yet. Third teammate comes on back. Sovereign going to try to make it happen here, though, with the help of Eternal. Megaverse going to have to follow this ball, but oh my god, the Kazan situation just makes it so awkward. Dash in, hook, strike. It's really long range. Just Logan places himself perfectly to get that goal, and we're going to even up this set. Nova has just Logan as their first choice.
Yeah, the Kazan looking at a few things here. Bulk up's definitely not a bad choice here. Stacks and stacks also. Again, you mentioned it before with the accelerator. Speed is so important, so the bulk up does drop to Logan, but I can imagine that stacks and stacks, or maybe even a Deadeye, falls onto Eternal here. Still holding out on that pick. Curious to see what they're waiting on. Stacks and stacks now gets denied off of the side of Scriptwriters. Deadeye does fall into the Eternal's hands as Timeless Creator's being picked up for Sovereign, which is, it has niche interactions with Asher. It does actually do something. It doesn't feel great to pick it up as if you're a brawler, but it's also just a deny off of Celestia, because you do not want to deal with a turret that stays around for that long, which makes a lot of sense that you're going from it for it then. Celestia still gets EE though, so I'm pretty certain she's pretty happy with her pickup. Whew.
Could agree with that, and they're going to find themselves out of here. Again, this is going to probably be a situation we find most often as a point. I mean, it hasn't gone all that long to lose your health from the Mega Accelerator, but focusing on to Amy, who has quite a low health pool, is certainly ideal for the side of SCP, as they're going to get that kill, take that point, get a couple stacks of Rampage too. That's another interesting awakening where it's actually like, it feels like you can kind of ignore it for a while, but the second it shows up, it reminds you that it exists. It's already out of control. So you really have to like find a way to like kill these players, and that's exactly what they're doing. Sovereign had 2 stocks, was already gaining some size, and they get a kill right on there. So make that Rampage not really work out all that much. Celestia almost gets a really great good spot to put on a lot of pressure. Logan, nice back pass. We love that back pass right there from Logan, as SCP is going to hand the ball right on over to Sovereign. Look for this barrier. Almost gets 2. There's a really good angle, but not going to work out just yet. Certainly we have a cooldown for this. We have nothing. Nova, incredible gameplay right there, putting that ball in where it needs to go. Evens up this game.
Yeah, and I do want to touch on what you said as well with Rampage, because while they're getting Rampage stacks off of the side of Scriptwriters, Logan is just stacking those up, right? And especially with how Size Awakenings have just continuously been getting nerfed in terms of how much they're giving, having a Rampage that at this point is on 6 stacks for Logan, that's 30% size on a Kazan. And I mean, we all know what Kazan can do if he has enough size. So the longer the set goes on, actually, the more difficult Logan is going to be to be dealing with for the side of Scriptwriters, which makes it increasingly more difficult for them to try to hold on to these points. And you can already see it, they're 2-1 down again in this set. Only 1 goal away now for the side of People Supernova to be taking another set and only put them 1 set away from winning the game.
I know, I agree with everything you just said. I mean, this is a situation where if you're Megaverse, you're probably thinking to yourself, guys, everyone stop. Kill Logan immediately, because there's no more gameplay. You're losing every single strike war, and there's nothing I can do to stop this Kazan. So I think that could be a situation where they do a lot of focusing on killing this Kazan, spend your flips, do some damage, but they can't seem to find it just yet. Logan is just putting on so much pressure against the goal that the players are just trying to play ball with him. Like, that's kind of the situation, right? Like, Kazan is sort of uncontestable right now, and if you want to just use moves to, like, hit him and deal some damage or whatever, you're losing ball. You're losing ball horribly because he's just so powerful. And of course has like a really good Amy player right behind them who has a lot of range with this explosive entrance. So that set was just out of hand unless they found like an off-stage kill. But yeah, we'll see what happens next set when they keep that Rampage in mind. Just Logan 8 stacks, yikes.
Yeah, really, really rough to deal with. And it also doesn't help that Logan, I mean, Kazan's just really not that easy to kill. He has an evade built into his kit. He has speed up from Moonbeam Soma in the back. And also looking at the team comp that Scriptwriters are playing, they're also not the best at finding kills. Eternal has a lot of damage output with the Estelle, of course. But Megaverse can't really do a lot. All of his shotguns are gonna have to go into defense to make sure you don't drop those barriers. You don't want to give that size. And Sovereign's on Asher. He's just gonna be very slow. Maybe he can find a 1-2 angle every once in a while. He's done it often already, finding several kills onto Selassie in the midfield through it. But again, Logan's just going to be very tricky to deal with. And I'm looking at what was drafted. They did get a good amount of answers, as another KO gets found there, actually. But I'm not sure if it's going to be enough to necessarily answer to what Logan is bringing to the table for the side of People Supernova right now.
Yeah, what we just saw might be a situation that will transpire more than once here, which is kill Selassie, considering that they have this Omega Infusion Accelerator, and then just simply don't lose barriers, because it's 2v3. Like, they could try to make that situation work. It is hard to just simply kill on command, but it's working in the first few sets here, though, as they're going to try to kill Logan, but like you mentioned, it's just really hard to kill. Regular evade, an extra evade, lots of range, and finds a kill themselves. Okay, they do end up getting it in this interesting 2v2 situation. I'm going to send it right on down to Selassie. Oh, wow, blasted! Right on off the board. Okay, Moonbeam Sama is gonna flip. Oh my gosh, they did actually. I wonder, did Moonbeam Sama hit the ball there and then lose it instantly to Eternal? Did they hold full time?
No, the Moonbeam Sama did hit the ball and just instantly lost it. Eternal was just completely in their head there with timing. Yeah. And just completely stole that away. 2 kills and a goal. That's gonna be such a huge upswing in momentum for them as well, and in mental as well. Because you are down a set, you need to find these important points, and it seems to work for you so far. Both barriers down right now, because obviously Megaverse under their car has some difficulty at defending into something like a Kazan. So the barriers are going to be difficult to hold on to, but even then you again have Selassie really low, and that 1 barrier down now on the side of Moonbeam as well. And no one's touching the core! Someone get it! The flip comes through! Megaverse gets it out, Sovereign tries to get an attack, but again, barrier stays alive.
Yeah, crazy situation there, though. Man, Logan goes straight in, and barely a mix-up. Actually, it's kind of like the no mix-up where you're just doing the fastest option that you could, and that was kind of tough to react with there, and that's the pop-up right behind it, so next thing is quite different for Megaverse, and it's going to work out here for Nova. Looking quite good, a set ahead right now, definitely best of ones, as we have already mentioned before. So big wins coming in here. The pressure's going to be building up a little bit for SCP as they're going to lose 1 barrier here, 1 barrier each. Sends out the strike shot to try to... Oh, careful with that path splitter. That'll send you right on off the map here, though. Okay, Selassie using that evade to not to lose too much health to Sovereign. I mean, man, the longer the point goes on, the less health you just have if you're Selassie here. You can't turn it off. You picked the Awakening, it's just on. So you have to play like that the entire time here, though. Sovereign gonna send the ball on up to Megaverse, almost makes it work out, but a triple defense here is gonna certainly win the ball on the bottom side. That great strike shot is gonna steal that final barrier. Moonbeam has a chance to give the ball on over to Logan and Celisy, who's looking really weak right now, gonna actually bail to grab some of that healing, which I do respect here, though. It's going to be way harder to win 2v3, but we do have another barrier down. The Path Splitter actually moves the ball a little bit away from the goal. Celisy goes for the flip. Megaverse definitely on point there with that strike shot. Now they have to deal with not a super huge Kazan, but now they have to deal with a 2v3 if you're Nova, and they do end up succeeding. Too much pressure to the side of Estelle to help right behind this Sovereign Stank Asher.
Yeah, and it's working really well for Scriptwriters right now, because look at Eternal. He's sitting on 4 Prizefighter stacks with a Deadeye. He has a lot of damage, and
there
immediately 2 Prizefighter stacks gone. Celisy just fishing for that and finding it immediately. But even then, it's looking great for them, because Logan's also been kept down to only, well, now 3 ramp, 4 ramp. I should stop talking about it. But he wasn't on a lot of stacks as it was standing. Celisy again taking a lot of damage as well, which gives them opportunities to find their advantages and put Sovereign into positions that he wants. How much knockback was that? Sorry, the Turtles just absolutely sniped Celisy off there. And now player advantage,
nice.
And the 2v2, but a nice barrier from Eternal there to see if they maybe can close this out.
This has all been good gameplay this whole point. Like, nothing but, like, mix-ups and just good stuff here. Both barriers down for both teams. Megaverse gonna hold the ball onto the top side. Got our Sovereign Stank right on back. We do hold the ball here with base drop. Is that base drop? Oh no, it's power chord? Oh no, oh my god, I've lost it. I've lost everything. Anyway, Logan's got the ball onto the top side, goes in for the pop-up. Not gonna work out here. Though also tries to kill Megaverse, who nicely evades. Everyone's just so on point right now. Putting the ball on back to Sovereign onto the top side. Yeah, we can see Celisy's health kind of low. It's very not much, but wow. Okay, send the ball on over to Logan with a nice red redirect there. It's going to be a little too much for Megaverse to deal with. 2-2 here in this set, but match point for Nova.
Yeah, I think the difficulty for Scriptwriters is really making use of Sovereign. You need to set him up properly, but with a solid defense from Nova, it's difficult for Asher to do a lot. And it's even more difficult if Celisy finds a beautiful KO like that, as they're now trying to take this bottom barrier. They do get it. Celisy has a flip available as well. Megaverse still holding on to the barrier, though, because you have to. If you don't hold this barrier, you're in such a bad position to try to get back into this game. And a KO by Sovereign there is going to be enough, hopefully, for the side of Scriptwriters to take this barrier. The Path Splitter coming through, but defended well by Moonbeam, as the court does not connect with Megaverse. The momentum is now gone, and we're back to neutral play.
Yeah, all 3 players back, but Sovereign's got cooldown, spends that barrier beam, gets the last barrier on the opposing team, and now Logan also has cooldowns, but Eternal helping a whole lot with the defense here with Megaverse is going to actually withstand this pressure. Sovereign might have to get a little bit more involved. They do lose that barrier, which is kind of huge if you're the side of Nova. Logan gonna look for the final point here, though. Okay, we're gonna ult here with, that might be the base drop. Logan gonna get it past Eternal here, though, who spends the flip down on over to Celisy, gonna try to jump in front of Sovereign. Can't win the strike war, and we are going to a set 5 here in this literal best of 1. Oh, tight game. SCP does find it.
Yeah, and you can tell the nerves. You can tell it's a best of 1, because there was a lot going on there. The core was going fast. There were quick reaction times. Some decisions that might have not been fully optimal, but that's just what happens if you're in the moment like that. And again, it's a best of 1. You got 1 game. You can't think about a game 2 after this, because there is no game 2. You go into round 2 with an 0-1 record, and neither of you want that. Team player onto Eternal as well is going to accelerate it even more, and might actually be the missing piece for the side of the Scriptwriters to properly enable Sovereign here, because again, it's difficult to get Sovereign into a position where he can take barriers properly without losing core control in the middle of it. But with more core speed off of the team player, that might actually be doable now. So we'll see if that's going to translate or not.
Yeah, I do love the team player on the midfielder. It's such a shocker if you're the opposing goalie. Usually the other goalie is the one who actually is taking that team player, but yeah, like you said, we'll see if it really works out. Celisy looking a little low right now. Sovereign kind of sniffing that out. Gets them to back up pretty far. But man, Logan is just taking this so... Look at all that pressure put on just by themselves. 1 barrier left here for SCP. Logan trying to make it work here with Celisy. Sovereign gets a nice free barrier there. Up to Eternal. Gonna try to use maybe a couple cooldowns. Not much for Estelle just in that moment. Get back to Megaverse here. Celsi is going to try to hold this line with that cat machine, but it's not going to work out just yet. Not going to lose the barrier either. Celsi now at nothing, loses flip with that one as well. Most value you could get here if you're SCP. A flip from Moonbeam Sama is going to go down to Logan, miss the wall, but not going to lose the barrier either. Sovereign also looking kind of weak. Logan does find the kill. Does Eternal have anything to finish this one out? Smashes the ball. Moonbeam Sama with that passive. Now it's a 2v3 here against this final barrier. Celsi so close to landing that one with the glitch pop. But it's not going to work out. 1 second left here for Sovereign. Back on the board. A flip here from Eternal on up, but it's not going to land either. Megaverse might have to flip. Absolutely spends it down to Celsi. Nothing left to defend the barrier, although they do have this firewall sentry, and it's not going to work either. And this is a tight point, brother.
Yeah, both of these goalies doing such a good job holding on to all of the pressure. In the end, Moonbeam Sama did get overwhelmed by the core speed and just the coverage as well, right? Estelle, weak character with that ultimate. Just completely covered every single clear option that they had at that point. And Scriptwriters are putting themselves now 1 point away, 1 point closer actually, to making themselves the winners of round 1 here.
Yeah, and they got a lot of value here. Logan, no rampage left. SCP winning that point was kind of big. The momentum seems to be in their favor. Sovereign going to nicely, slowly dribble the ball here with that flip. Not going to spend it for the barrier. Gets the value out of it. Megaverse, okay, we're going to hold the line here with that lock and load. Oh, the firewall sentry just taps the ball in and grabs that final barrier. Ball close to getting scored there, though. Let's see what Eternal can do against this flip. Almost the god angle a second time from Moonbeam Sama, but it's not going to land just yet. Spending some more cooldowns to try to get the ball past Logan. They do, but whoa, crazy flip here from Sovereign does not land yet. Moonbeam Sama on point to get that one here. A couple cooldowns also spent by Sovereign and Eternal. The ball is so close to there. We do have a triple defense to make sure that we're not going to score just yet. Megaverse can't. Yeah, Kazan resets his strike with just pulling the ball right to himself again, though. And Vichakar, like you mentioned before, is going to have a tough time against Kazan, especially with even a little bit of size. So even that one up here for Nova.
Yeah, it's always a bit difficult to work off of those attacks, but the saving grace for the side of Scriptwriters so far is that Logan's only been part of 1 barrier take. That is only 1 stack on Rampage. That's going to make the Kazan a lot weaker compared to what he could have been. And Celsi also trying to get an attack through there, get a KO, but does not have enough power in the end. Sovereign there, good control, gets the second barrier. Open goal now. Moonbeam Sama defending that well, though, even in an unfortunate matchup of Emako into Asher. But in the end, the path splitter is going to be enough, and that's going to put the Scriptwriters 1 point away from taking this match victory.
Absolutely. Nova was up 2-1 a little bit earlier, but Scriptwriters are bringing it right on back here, though. They got a lot of stacks of Rampage on the board. Logan, like you said, just has 1. Huge size. They get both barriers just about instantly. Flips. Can't really do much with that firewall sentry there, though, but they hold the ball. Nice strike shot to get them right on over to Sovereign. Eternal going to spend that piercing shot. No one can get in. Megaverse, I feel he wants to move up so bad. He is, but they can't get the ball. They can't get the flip right over to him. He's going to lose a barrier in return for a lot of pressure. I mean, the odds of scoring that ball were probably high enough to reasonably move up that far, so I respect that one. Right up to Sovereign. Nice angle here from Eternal. Flip a little far from that goal. Is probably not going to land it, although the Pet Splitter smashing Moonbeam Sama left and right. Going to spend that flip. Yeah, it's just too dangerous of a situation. You're down to the last point. No health left. No control. SCP takes it over Nova. Man, that was great. Look at their stacks of Rampage. I mean, that's momentum right there.
They played with momentum, and in the end it was too much. You saw it in that last point even. The core barely even went across the midfield line again. Megaverse was able to play on the midfield line, so incredibly aggressive, because they just had that much control. They had that much damage as well. At the end, you did see Celsi and even Moonbeam Sama. They got really low. Even if they held on to that point for a bit longer, I'm sure Sovereign would have probably found a KO further down the line, and then again, the momentum would have been so difficult. So well executed by the Scriptwriters. They found their win cons during drafts and started to adjust their play to actually make it work after having a bit of a tough start into this series.
True. I mean, look at all the kills on the board here, though. We got 10 kills here. We got 9 kills there for the side of SCP. 9. That was like they were pretty even when it comes to like a lot of the damage and a lot of the kills. Even when it comes to a lot of the redirects. Like, none of the numbers are too outrageous. It was just a matter of spending those cooldowns where it where it mattered, honestly. Sovereign getting really close on in there. Eternal doing such a good job of placing the ball where it needed to go. Sovereign having the cooldowns right when it was time. I mean, we saw a couple of insane saves from Megaverse there as well. So that was a well-played game. Man, actually so sick. But this, man, best of one is a heartbreaker, right? Because I want to see a little bit more. I want to see some adaptation here, but they will find themselves in the 0-1 bracket for now. But we are also going to load up a couple of more players here, though. We're not even close. If you thought we were done, you're out of your freaking mind, okay? We have so many more matches coming up in just a few minutes. Stay tuned as Liftoff for NASL Season 7 will continue.